changed? How's Singapore evolving?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I first came with Pernod Ricard, I don't know, before 2000, but moved here for a while in 2014. And that's when it was, I guess, the start of this new golden moment for the cocktail scene in Singapore. There were a small handful of bars like 28 Hong Kong Street that had kind of paved the way. Cufflink Club was another one, and it seemed like there were some very stable concepts there, but they did also appear to be very familiar. So maybe concepts that we had seen abroad that had come in and been done very well, but it didn't seem that fresh. So, you know, we're now in 2018, 4 years later, and we were here last year doing an amazing bar tour. There is something that is essentially different going on at the moment, and it feels like there's more kind of personality and personal character and this kind of new local identity that's happened too. And bars like Native and Indigenous Bartender, HQ, and you know, these are really fresh concepts that, you know, it'd be great to see them just popping up for the first time in some of the other major cities, but it's wonderful that actually they're giving birth here in Singapore. So, you know, people are being super creative and doing their own thing, which is important. 3
bartending tips for either new or maybe even seasoned bartenders?
Okay, that's a good question. I like that. So tip number 1, I think you've got to do the graft. So, you know, and this comes from a lot of like the older generation bartenders saying that these new bartenders don't know what they're talking about and they want to go straight into like the top level. I think there's an element of truth there. So do your time. I started right at the bottom, and I think it was really beneficial to understand like the inner workings and the mechanics and the underbelly of the business. And then, you know, once you suss things out, you kind of grow and improve. And I think that's key. The other thing that was vital for me, not vital, but something that I lusted for, was to get more knowledge. So I made it my business to go and find those experts. So, you know, I made a point of working with Henry, with Dick Bradshaw, with Douglas Anchor at the lab, always because I knew that I could kind of get more personal like enhancement out of it. Julio Bermejo was another one. I went and worked with him in San Francisco, so I think that's a great one.
So you went out of your way to go to a different city to work with someone? Did you just send them emails and chat with them? Or?
So always slightly different. It's a bit like a chef doing an estage, you know, and it can be regardless of where you are, and location isn't necessarily the most important thing, but traveling is also a wonderful experience, and that's something I'd add on to that. If you want to like broaden your horizons and your knowledge and experience and everything else, get out there and travel and see what other people are doing around the world. I think that's an amazing thing to do. Not everyone has the advantage of traveling everywhere, and there are restrictions, but you know, see what you can do.
Blanco or Reposado?
It depends.
Stop quick fire then.
It depends. Normally my hand reaches out for the Blanco on most occasions, but also I have a big soft spot for Repo, and I'm happy to drink that most of the time. And I think when you're making cocktails, because of the rounder notes, the woodier notes, and the Repo, it's more in tune with certain drinks.
Favorite bar scene in Southeast Asia?
It's got to be Singapore, brother. It's got to be. It's like one of the best bar scenes in the world. Like top 3, 4. But I mean, I travel a fair bit. When you look at like population and concentration of quality bars per whatever square meter or mile or whatever you call it, Singapore is definitely up there.
Cool, man. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, nice one.
Dré Masso. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.